Okay, everyone, welcome to the Saturday Box Social number 5 community chat. With me here today from BFS, I have Von Zincington.
Evening.
I have RethBurn.
That's sick burn to you, man.
I have Sammy BT from the Mandarin.
Ew.
I have Skrimskraw from the Global Thralls.
Hey.
I have Zill from the Merry Men.
Alright.
And I have Urs and Fourth Oracle. Okie dokie, right.
We have no video. We have no video, so if I wasn't wearing pants, you'd never know.
Right, thank you for that disturbing insight.
Never wear pants.
That gives us something to
think
think
about.
about. Anyway, on to the first match of the night, which was Gents versus the Mandarins. So we don't have any gents with us today, unfortunately. So Sammy, you're just going to have to tell the epic story of this one by yourself. Now, first off, it was Dunes, and you just kind of charged at them. But I
was
mean,
Dunes first? I thought
No, it was Dunes first, I think.
I know we played them on Dunes. I'm just I knew there was Dunes and
No, Canyon
Oh, it
first.
was
Canyon
I almost forgot
first.
about that one. Yeah, no,
Canyon. No, because Canyon was a great game.
Yeah, Canyon. All right, tell us about it then.
Well, I mean, we were kind of expecting them to be in the spawn, so we just tried to get in their face before they had a chance to really set up. And one of the things we were really trying to focus on was just making sure that, my ship with the carronade was keeping the galleon out of the fight, and we were just trying to make sure that our free junker killed their free junker, and eventually it all worked out.
Brilliant. Okay, you mind moving on to Dunes then?
The Dunes is where they beat us. It was
Yes, that's
4-5, extremely close. Like if we just landed a few more shots, and I think we might have won. It was so close to going either way, but they played a great game. Love of God, though, it's Gents on battle on the Dunes. It's kind of tough. They
didn't really kill you with the sniping though, did they? They killed you close range.
we were underestimating the power of their gap mortar on their junker, which did kind of throw us for a loop. We're just so used to just charging in close to the Gents and them not being able to react to it. So that was a major change they did that worked out pretty well for them. Like if we hadn't even readjusted in the middle, I'm sure it would have been an even bigger win for the Gents. It was a good strategy.
That was definitely a great game for you trying to pull these kind of great escapes. The first time
I just couldn't. They had that amazing galleon respawn.
You were so close though. You almost got behind the wreck of that boat where you would have had just enough cover.
I know.
Then I think an engine went out. You couldn't quite turn properly. But it was.
I mean, yeah, I was taking a bunch of Artemis, too much lumber, burning out my own engines. There's a lot of things going on, and it just kind of got to the point where it's like I knew that if I was going to escape at all, I'd have no permahull. So I just was like, you know what, just let me die.
The second time though, you actually did manage to get away. You spewed a bunch of tar and just kind of booked it towards the clouds, and you made it out. But the third time, yeah, there was no way you getting out of that.
I couldn't escape that way. I was trying to.
You were trapped behind the turbine.
I think if I'd been paying a bit closer attention, I might have lived a bit longer for Frogger to get in there. Hopefully, Frogger would have died instead of me. I hate being the final kill, but no, it was a great game by the Gents. They brought they changed up their build, and it really messed us up.
Yep. Okay, well, that brings us conveniently on to the last match of that series, which was Northern Fjords. This was a pretty standard kind of Gents Ducks kind of confrontation, as I recall.
Was it the end?
I'm trying to remember now.
We made the gentlemen charged because we forced them to.
Oh, that's true.
First time
Except for
in
the
their
very
life.
end. Except for the very end, where you were really cheesy, and you just said, "Oh, time limit's coming up. Bye."
Look. Every time Gents and Ducks have ever paired off, it's always been the Ducks, charging the Gents. We've played their game forever. So, we were mainly just trying to get the 3 kill. We got lucky on the way out. We actually were able to take out another one of their ships to get the 4th. But you know what? We just knew it was 4-1, or is it said 4 minutes, something to that effect. And so we're just like, well, they have these overtime rules. Let's go ahead and use them. We didn't exactly understand how they worked. We just knew that something was supposed to happen at the 30-minute time, and that we were up. But we ended up actually anyway because they had to move out of their position a bit. But no, we're pretty happy about that game.
That was very, very clever. Very, very, very clever. Anyway, well, that moves us on to match B, which was BFS versus the Glowwater Thralls.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like Dan and I freaked out. Those were so much fun to watch. First match was Canyon Ambush. So we saw the squid. You guys kind of corralled. So like speaking to Thralls and friends, you guys kind of corralled the Black Flight Squadron into their own spawn. But you didn't act on it for a while. What gave you that trepidation?
They're in the back of the spawn, so we know if we just charge them, we're gonna hit a lot of mines in the way. And the squid we have will probably get focused down very quickly, so we had to wait it out until we saw an opportunity.
Yeah, before we keep going, actually, for those who didn't watch those matches who were on the other stream, why don't you describe to us, Skrimskraw, what you did on your Pyramidion that was so unique?
So what the Thralls generally do is copy other teams' things. So if we see something that's great, we take it and we try to make it better. We've done this a million times before, and brawling was perfect with the help of Wolfpack's ramming tactics. But this time we actually hit Black Flight Squadron in the first game, and we brought a mine launcher on the front of the Pyramidion with a Gatling. Inspired by their way of doing it. But me and Graphic had sat down in Graphic's 30 had sat down in practice mode for maybe 3 hours and just made every mine shot into math, so we know where to hit it and when to hit it. So it's something we've been training to do, and we wanted to bring it out tomorrow, but we got a chance to do it today.
Gotta say, I was sitting down and I was just like thinking through all the encounters, and I really like every single one of them was spot on with that mine, just directly in the face or right behind us, so we couldn't get out of there. And,
I know, right?
Yeah, the way
Graphic
uses
so perfect
that mine launcher is amazing. He
was really
lobs
amazing.
a mine at you, pushes your guns off away, and then he lobs a mine behind you, and I ram you into them.
Yeah, we're all too familiar with that one. That's normally my job.
There was one situation. There was one position right in between where it was when we tried to move out after getting the after it went 2-1 to us. We tried to move out to the southwest, through the clouds, right by the invisible wall. And Sync went down, and I was sitting there alone. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to like focus on the Pyramidion because it's right in front of me. But no. He rams into from the side. Mine hits me on the side, and the squid is there as well. So we just could ram from each side by every different thing. And it was so perfect.
Yeah, well done.
There was a lot of shouting on our end there, just get the fuck away from here, we need to run now.
Yeah. So for Black Flight Squadron, you saw that they had this gap mine set up. When you saw that, what was your thought process? Like, what did you sit down and say, this is what we have to do?
So I thought originally that that loadout was going to be like, so obviously the Fern is going to run in, and we talked about this because obviously we fought them before, and they were just using flanking moves all over the city. So we just thought, all right, so we're going to sit back. He has a mine launcher, so he can't be that aggressive, right? So we just sat back in our spawn and thought, all right, let them come to us because we have the better range, we thought. And just try to play on the fact that they had a mine launcher front, but it turned out that was the strong side.
Yeah,
so,
no, we
confused,
played
really.
a bit incorrectly. We did we had an idea towards the end in the final engagement when we sort of went around and sort of pushed them into our spawn somewhat. That way we could try and kill them in our spawn, and then if they kill us, we can get them back still. But we only managed to get the Pyrrha. We spent too long dawdling around there, and then the squid went off. We thought, oh, let's go for the squid. When we should have just Let's go for the Perry. Go.
Yeah,
Coming
we should have gone directly to the spawn.
What happened at Dawn then?
Alright,
that is probably the best match I've ever commanded in my life.
Here, Skrimskraw, why don't you tell us a little bit about it from your perspective?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Me and Fiasco know each other at this point, and he's come a long way, and at this point he have learned to call shots, so he tells me, I'm gonna flank. So I know he's flanking, so I need to do something. So we kept changing position and kept putting mines at the places we wanted them to force them away from. And so we kept changing the position and kept a range. And in the beginning, it was a little bit tricky to do since there was a lot of chaos. But then we got control of it and got some quick kills, and we just kept rolling on that.
Yeah, just halfway through the battle, we were sitting in this position where we had basically made a defensible fortress down in the south of the map, and just sat and tried to hold one line and focus the guns on one side. And then suddenly we have these mines flying through the hull for the Leviathan into our faces.
Yeah. Oh god, that was scary.
And we got so scared of just being close to the hull, so we just like backed up as much as we could and like, okay, just keep this, stay here, don't worry. Get low, and then try to perhaps move in on the Pyramidion. And that's I think where the that's where I tried to go in on a Moonshine Ram to the Pyramidion, and just perfectly 2 mines placed in front of us, so we just get deep blind and shut down. Ah, that was beautiful.
Okay, right. Well, moving on to, I believe, the Merry Men. Versus
the Mandarin.
Mandarin, yes, Mandarin, yes. But there's the Mandarin.
It rhymes.
It does. Merry Men, Mandarin, kind of, in a way.
Just can't pluralize Mandarin.
Merry Mandarins.
Okay. Anyway, so things started off at Parrot and Rumble. Yeah.
We blew up a lot.
It was I think that match just personified it was Shink's fault. Really, because the first off, Zill, you just charged in with your goldfish, but the Pyramidion just didn't seem to get the memo.
We were curious about that.
No, it was pretty much everything that could possibly go wrong, going wrong, which was kind of the story of the whole day, because Shink was already having problems with his computer, which I'm going to go to where he lives and chuck it out a window. And then, and then everybody else was having, anyway, we got sorted out, and we just go. You know, we've been trying to practice all week, and it's just been kind of hit and miss, I suppose. And that kind of made itself apparent then that it's been a while. So we were trying to, bring the goldfish back and, old school. Oh, this will be fun, right? Yeah, that was fun.
Me and Smollett were really cheering you, Zill.
It was the thought process was it was gonna be, fairly useful against the Junkers, because at some point, I forget when, I think it was, I can't remember the tournament, but we actually beat Sammy and...
Yeah, you wiped me up in when I was in a Junker with your fish.
Yes.
And look, I'll be honest, when I see a goldfish, I freak out. When I see those carinated goldfish, they are a huge threat. It's like, as soon as we see that goldfish, we're all just yelling, goldfish, 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 shoot the carinated, shoot the carinated.
Yeah.
There's one time, see the ducks, we call it raspberries when we get the armor break, as a lot of y'all probably know. But there was one point during our matches where we called out Karen before we had gotten raspberry long before, but we weren't even looking at that because we were only concerned about getting that carronade down.
Which I knew you guys were going to do too.
Oh no! As basically, it was like, yeah, we want to shoot the Pyramidion, but the second we see the goldfish, we shoot that mofo down.
There was some epic shoot vents from you there, Zill. That was
I'm so
really
glad
cool.
to see shoot vents. Like, shoot vents aren't used as much as hydrogen.
I was trying really hard. But
you try hard at it.
At the very end, like both at the very end of both games, it was like you were almost dead, and then
I know. Those were very close to being 5-1s.
Oh yeah, talking about the duel at dawn. I think right at the end of that match, you had a almost perfect ram on that junker, but then your armor went down.
Out. I mean, I wasn't able to get an arc.
It was just a story of the whole matches with everything. Like I would touch something and then it would get stuck, and then I'd try to get out of it, and then I'd get shot, and then things were happening, and yeah. So, I don't know.
3 more seconds, you would have had Frogger down, and you had started blending me at the end of the Periton one.
Yeah, no,
The theory behind it is still very sound. Carronade goldfishes are extremely scary as junker.
There was a bit where you tried to Goomba stomp one of the junkers into the ribs, but I think you ended up kind of catching on it yourself.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure, because it got really hectic really fast, and I think I did all right with bringing the blenderfish, but then you guys countered Shink so well, he couldn't 1v1 you guys at all. And
you brought the blenderfish, they brought the pain.
Oh my god.
So, right. So basically, if there was faults to be assigned, perhaps Shink would be the one to assign it to, you might say.
We always blamed Shink, you know this.
Right. Okay.
but honestly...
Sometimes you want to blame Zill.
No.
Maybe it's the duck's fault?
Shut up.
Can I say something radical real quick? Maybe it's the duck's fault.
Right, okay. I guess...
No way.
Let's move on. Sacrilege versus the Glowwater Thralls. Take it away, Oracle.
Okay, Northern Fjords. Okay. I have a theory of what happened. You panicked a little bit at the Hades and Artemis, but every time you approached, you threw out a mine and then ran into it immediately. What went wrong?
Oh, you want to know what went wrong? Okay, you can get my side first. First off, we make a beautiful flank on Sec, and we get to close the distance. And then we take out balloons, we have some focus fire, and then we realize, guys, why can't we kill them? And it's like, we don't have anything to kill them with. So that was it. And the mines work great in matches like Duel at Dawn and Canyon, where you can actually force people to go down, but Fjords is just way too open, so the altitude difference, the Sec could just keep juking down and come back up, and we couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't even ram because they will just fly away from me, either going down or going up, so that was a problem for me.
Okay. I wasn't seeing many mines at all.
Choosing that. What? What did you say? I didn't hear.
Oh, I said I didn't see very many mines at all. A lot of them just kind of fired off prematurely.
No, that's because Graphic recorded it, and you'll hear me shouting at him a lot because he put mines in my RAM way, and that's not good.
I know. I just couldn't get over it.
When you make a fail Lesmog mine, that's just in the way for you to go forward, and that's just it. If I hit that mine and he fires a Lognagar mine at the enemy, and the enemy just moves away, and then I'm gonna hit that also.
That's half the fun of mines, though. Hitting your ally is actually bonus points.
That's true.
All right, so
Skrimskraw's always been a good supporter of Sacrilege, so he's really just trying to give us an extra gun on the battlefield, I think.
So Tropo, I gotta ask, when Skrimskraw ran into his own mine, not once but twice, what was going through your head?
To be honest, I didn't notice that.
Really?
I really didn't notice. No.
It's too bad I didn't see that. I would have said typical.
Holy shit! That's up.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been trolling you all day since the Aerodome.
I'm so sorry. We're having so much fun at your detriment, Scrim.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry, but that's okay. You can be sorry.
Okay, so that one. No, so why don't we move on to Battle on the Dunes? This time, Dan and I got a little bored. But we had 3 Metamidians and an Artemis Hades. So, and this one actually went the opposite direction. The first one was 5-0 in the favor of Sacrilege. This one went 5-0 in the favor of Thralls. What was different besides the obvious?
When we play Sacrilege, they go Brawl, so we go Brawl. And we brought the killing power we needed for this one. And it's Dunes, so it's either us picking 2 Mercury side and just sitting far away, chipping down armor until someone charges us, or just straight on Brawl. And it was fun to do it again, but it's also boring, kind of boring to do it, in my opinion, at this point. We've done it so many times before.
Or brawling.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we just used the altitude to close the distance on the Hades ship and just keep it down so he couldn't support his ally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did a really good job of, just cleaning up. You were right in their spawn too, and you didn't take any guff.
No, we've done it a million times before, so.
So what about the other side? So you have 2 Metamidians in your spawn area. Sacrilege? What
Yeah.
What gave you so much trouble about that?
I'd hate to say it's because I'm rusty, but it's really because I'm rusty, and we didn't have. Usually, I fly with Roman Car, YOLO, Castius. It's like a support blanket. I mean, I've flown with Toasty before, but obviously not in a while. And yeah, it was interesting. I really thought we did have the upper hand, but our formation and them getting in our spawn is not really what we wanted. We wanted it to be us brawling in the air and me being a backup, but it didn't seem to work quite as well as we'd like. Well, it didn't work at all, actually.
All right, well, after that match, Thralls took that 5-0. Then it went to the rubber match. I hate that term. And that one happened at Duel at Dawn. So, Duel at Dawn, you guys ran much of the same. Why don't we hear a little bit from... let's see, sorry, go ahead, Reth.
No, just a rubber match. Just laughing
Rubber
at it.
match. Yeah.
Rubber match.
Yeah,
Cool.
anyway,
Your rubber for this
so,
match.
So Scrim was extremely aggressive in that game, as I recall. I think one of the first things he did was just moonshine ram the Sacrilege Pyramidian.
Galleon.
Golly, that was gorgeous.
No,
So,
God, it was the Galleon, wasn't it? Fuck.
No,
Yeah.
I remember you went in and did that really crazy ram. But I noticed right after that ram, you were completely wide open in the face of a Metamidian. So, what was it about that engagement that made you say, you know what, I can take the front side of a Metamidian if I can just kill this Galleon?
Me and Fiasco used to do this some time ago, and we had a lot of success with it, but I kind of fucked up because I kept doing things I shouldn't do when after the ram I'm in a terrible shape and I'm just gonna get hunted down. But yeah, the Metamidian from Sacrilege just completely destroyed me. There was no shot missing, and there was beautiful play from them. But in the entire match, it was like it didn't matter if we took down a balloon because they would hit me no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
There was no hiding for me, nowhere I could do.
So
And the spawning behind that little spawn point right in the open where you just can spawn behind people just needs to be removed from the game.
yeah.
You also spawned directly in front of me, which didn't work well.
That was
Yeah,
a
that's
terrible
fixed.
mistake.
Oh, yeah, there was that one time you spawned right in the short-range Galleon's, Quatcher heavy carronade side.
Oh god, that sounds horrible.
That was painful.
So,
Yeah, that's on my game. Sorry.
So so that blenderfish was there. So you saw the blenderfish. I'm speaking to Sacrilege here. There was a blenderfish in that game, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going
No.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember this, and I remember a couple of things. So there was a moment when you had the sacrilege, you had the galleon locked down. I guess I'm talking to Thralls here. And then you decided to turn off of the galleon and turn over to try to help your friend. So what was happening there?
When was this?
This was right at the end of the match. I'm talking with who was piloting the blenderfish.
Fiasco.
Oh dear.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
What happens at that point is everyone is in a cloud. I cannot see anyone, and I'm asking for spots. I cannot get spots, so suddenly I see Pyramidian to my left, and I turn for him. And
Okay.
that was a mistake. So, yeah, that's what happened.
So sacrilege, you see this blenderfish, and you sit down. You have a galleon, and obviously blenderfish can really rip apart a galleon. So what did you do to deal with that?
We have
did you
Artemis
change
on
up your
the
play at all?
Pyramidian. We had an Artemis on the Pyramidian, so the idea was to take it out.
So you felt confident in just
we got a Horde
whacking
Troll,
it down.
Yeah,
Alright.
well, it sort of seemed like we could keep our level and shots no matter whether the balloon was down or not. We had buff to buff the balloon back up and stuff. So,
Alright, well, there we have it. Sorry, I just pressed for time. It's like we keep these things under 30 minutes. Okay, moving on to the finals. Mandarins versus Sacrilege. First off, it was doopy-doopy-doo. I believe it was Battle on the Dunes. Yes. Okay, so I had a bit of a false start there because low down malfunction.
We thought we were about to see a really unique build.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm all flamers now. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So first things first. Who was flying the galleon? Was it you, Tropo?
Yeah.
It was you, Tropo, wasn't it? Yeah. Why the hell did you charge on out and get killed 2-on-1?
We caught you.
Interesting conversation there. I'm like, okay, Ram, so we'll go ahead. And he goes, oh, I don't know if we really want to go this spawn. All right, stick with me, bro. Alright. I'm going through the clouds. I'm going through the clouds now. Okay. Alright, start shooting something. Get those Hades down, for God's sake. What are you talking about? What? I don't see any ships. I pressed the map key, he pressed the maps key. What are you doing over there? I thought we had the drop on them. I thought, you beauty, I can get both their balloons.
We thought
down
you
and
had the
kill
drop
you.
on us too.
Yeah, and
We had no idea where the jungle was. We thought the jungle was just going to come out of nowhere and
It's
just
not-
completely
that was-
obliterate us.
It was hilarious.
We were like, we gotta kill this galleon quick. This junker's going to mess us up at any second.
We were
gotta go,
wondering
we gotta
if you
go,
were
we
trying
gotta go.
some sort of like really wide flank, as if you anticipated where the Mandarins were going to go and you'd already pre-flanked them. But it was just a bit of miscommunication at the station.
That was
Okay.
interesting.
I would definitely try that strategy again. It really confused the enemy.
Yeah, confused us
Put
too.
them on the back foot. They just don't know what to expect.
Okay, so
Always
then,
keep your enemy guessing.
as I recall,
No,
it
after
was
that we
Sun
just tried
Tzu
to-
says.
We tried to keep just the medium range going on. Felt like we had an advantage there, and put out a win.
yeah, and you just came in that ribs on the west side and just got close and just kind of tore them up, I think.
These lumberjacks are so annoying, though. Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah,
Why
we
does
saw
everyone know
that
that lumberjacks are effective against junkers? God, stop
because
noticing that, people.
the Junker's balloon is just like, hey, you guys, screw you. And all you want to do is take a lumberjack to it, and then like it's kind of a of mice and men sort of thing going on where you have the big fat balloon, then you have the little hull, and it's just like you can't get to the hull until you beat the crap out of the balloon.
I just wish
Right.
people would
Well,
know that.
thank you for that literary analogy, Oracle. Now, moving on,
Over there.
before we alienate our audience with our learned intellectualism, the second game of that series and final, as it turned out, was Northern Fjords. Now, the Ducks went straight for Candy Mountain, as always.
Yeah, I wanted that mountain, bastards. You need to share. I mean, seriously. I always sit up there. Can't we share? I'm having it next week, all right?
We'll see. Depends who gets there first.
Talk us through.
Y'all spawned
your
right next to it. Come on.
Talk us through your strategy a bit, Sammy BT.
Well, I mean, once again, we were just trying to make sure that we were keeping close enough so that we could, be engaging with our Artemises, but not too far. I mean, and try not to be too far so that they only had their lumberjacks on. And so we just kind of like hitting that Candy Mountain spot because, it gives us some cover, it gives us pretty good arcs on a lot of the map. And so we're just trying to get to that point. We were able to make it, and from there, it just kind of just devolved into just, a million different engagements. It just kind of felt like a one continuous match. I mean, I remember at the very end, I was just keeping the Junker down and then Frogger and the Pyramidian were just having the longest match ever. I just kept on going like, Frogger, have you killed him yet? No. I mean, are you going to kill him? Yeah, well, hurry up. It just, neither of us seemed to be getting the quick kill that we were hoping for.
It was quite funny in one bit because you were just circle strafing Tropo's galleon, just kind of taking out his balloon, grinding him down, firing those rockets, just ever so slowly getting him all the way back to the bottom of the map. And the last moment, Tropo goes, "If only I had tar."
I wanted to type it for ages because you're sitting right behind me.
What was great was though, like at the end of that engagement, I was like, all right, I can finally go help out Frogger. It's like, all right, where's the Pyramidian? It's like fucking, like 12 miles above me. It's like, oh yeah, Northern Fjords is an amazingly tall map, and I've just spent like the last 20 minutes flying to the bottom. I swear I've never risen as slowly as I did at the end of that Northern Fjords match trying to help out Frogger. It's like, come on, rise, you piece of junker.
So right at the end, I think the galleon was just booking it away, and then I think the galleon turned to engage you guys a little bit too early, and you just ground it down with some really accurate Hades and arts.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk us through those last few minutes, Tropo.
Oh, I don't know if I remember those, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I think I pretty much said what happened. Anyway, okay, well.
Combat as dictated by Break Hardcastle.
It's funny hearing you go and looking at that picture, Ref. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Right,
all right.
Thank you for that disturbingly sexual noise, Ref. Anyway, okay. Shut up! This is where we get to the wrap-up of the show. Grunting aside. And, any shout-outs? Anything? Shut up! Anything?
Grunts.
There was
grunts of Icarus.
Can I give a grunt out to the gents who didn't turn up, but nicely played against us afterwards to help us improve?
I'd like to give a grunt out to Grunty for stealing away Banjo's sister.
Oh my god, good reference.
Give a grunt out to the orcs from Warcraft for being so grunty.
All right.
I think there was
the orcs from 40k. They're pretty grunty.
Yeah, they're pretty
Gents,
grunty. More like
while we did beat the Gents, they did beat us on Dunes, which means Gents are now the title holders of Dunes.
Oh, cool.
Oh man.
Congrats over there. And did y'all have Fjords, Tropo?
We could have done. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we still held that. No, unless
Well, if you had it, you lost it now.
I think I may have already lost to someone else.
No.
The only title that we hold at the moment, I think,
titles
is
have
Freeze
slipped
and
through the
Rumble or
cracks.
something. I need to send out a message about that. We took it off Overwatch a few weeks back.
Huh. We'll figure it out in the forums.
Alright, so I have a final word. Be sure to check out the C Sports website, csports.org, where you'll find a sortable database of all match videos broadcast by C Sports, sortable by team or by event. And I just updated the website last night. There are now clan pages which have information and contact info for the different groups who participate in our events, and also tournament results. They're all collated there. So check that out.
That's a very good point, Urs. I'd also say, streamed by CE Sports, was the Aerodrome Tournament, which took place earlier tonight. It's going to be at the same time, just before Box Social, next week, and it's tons of fun. So everyone...
Tons of fun!
Fun, like Scrim do silly things in a Pyramidion.
Yes,
Shut up.
Through the hole!
Minds! Oh, it's gonna have a mindgasm.
And on
So
that
much minds.
disturbingly sexual note, thank you for everyone who casted. Congratulations to the Mandarin. Thank you.
Yes, Grunt
team.
for Shink, it's your fault.
And yes, it's all Shink's fault. And
Have a
yes,
flying
this has
with me again,
been
so.
the
Naturally.
Pop Social number 5. Bye.
Pop, pop, woo!